welcome. My name's Fiona. Now today we're making quite a simple little makeup bag. We're going to design it ourselves. We need to decide how much we're going to put in it because everyone's got their own things, haven't they? You know, what they like to take out with them. So you need to think about the size of it. You need to think about what material you're using. For this demonstration I'm using taffeta for the lining, probably a bit busier and thicker than I would recommend, and I'm using UPVC lined cotton for the outside. This is just in case I put it down on a light sticky bit or something that I can wipe clean nice and easily. Okay, also you need a sewing machine and scissors. Thank you for watching. My name's Fiona. So hello there. Now I suppose the first thing to do is decide how big you want your makeup bag, because you all carry different things. You know, you might not need to carry a lot, so it's best just to sort of get a sample, you know, get the stuff that you want in there. So I always take a pack of tissues with me. I find that usually not for myself but very handy. And we need it big enough for our zip. So I'm going to do it with a little curve, but I don't want it too deep, and I'm going to use this as lining because I have it, and I think it'll be quite clear for when we're actually doing the sewing for you guys as well. So I've got PVC lining for the outside. Now they do say that you should change your makeup bag every 6 months, and that you should have a wipeable, washable lining on the inside. So you could even just use plastic if you've got some plastic bags that are quite heavy duty and that are quite clean and fresh. You could sew that, and I've sewn polythene before, and it's quite easy. So I'm going to get this all lined up with my chosen fabrics, right or wrong, hey? And I want it as a little curve so that it looks like a makeup bag. Okay, now because there's no exact science to this, I know I need to fit the zip in, and I know I need to put quite a lot of stuff in there. So lovely. Now I've put the lining on a fold, and I've put the outside on a fold. I just think this will give us a tidier finish. So what I've got now is literally, if I can get rid of that, two squares, as it were. So, and I suppose the cutting out is quite important at this stage. So here we go. Get rid of that, get rid of that. My machine's all set up to go. Now what I need is the zip open halfway, and I need my lining on the inside of the zip. So if I sew along here, my zip will be at the back, yeah? And I'm going to start with the lining. There's no reason why I should, there's no reason why I shouldn't really, but let's start with the lining. So it's permanent seam, so I'm going to reverse stitch. I haven't put on a zip foot. Not everybody has them, and to be truthful, I think you're more likely to go wrong with a zipper foot because you're more likely to get too close to the zip. So I'm on my normal foot. What I've done is left my needle down, and I have picked up the foot, and it's a bit tricky, but it means that my row of stitches is continuous. So I've just opened the zip. Lovely. So going along here, making sure that I'm picking up the curve of the design and that I'm picking up both the Now I'm terrible for trimming, but when you're working with zips, I think it's best. Yeah, you don't want to break your zip at the final stage, do you? So I'm going to the back of the cloth again so that this will be on the inside, and I'm going to sew down the other side. Now I've got my zip there. If I put it halfway or a little bit along, and then continue sewing. Yes, perhaps I should have done the first one this way round so you can see it clearly. Lovely. So leave the foot down, leave the needle down, foot up, zip, gone. Lovely. Now I've got the zipper on the side of my foot, and it sits there quite naturally. Okay, so that's that done. Now I need the inside of my lining facing out, and my zipper's halfway. It's permanent seam. I can slightly see the zip line, the bright red of the zip. Lovely, and I'm coming up to the zipper. So I've lifted my foot up. Now I can see it that time, I don't think you can. The next one, neither of us will be able to see. Now the reason that I'm doing it like that is so that these stitches just never end, you know, they're just perfectly in line. Lovely, it might come off slightly, so going to double check that I didn't miss the zip. I'm okay. So what I need now is to sew this onto the far side of the zip. So I've kind of got a figure of 8. So this is the one that's a bit tricky. I'm going to lift the foot up, and then we're going to move the zip. It's only tricky because you can't really see it. I can't see it either. I'm just doing it by sound actually. It has that kind of distinctive zipper noise. So that's great. Now, what we need now to do is we just need to sew up some of the lining. I'm going to leave this so that I can turn it inside out. Turn it inside out. Now, what is important is that I get my zip lined up. It would look really ugly if it wasn't. So, lovely. Not actually going completely to the zip. I can see that the foot was going up, but so yeah, just taking time to line it, and I'm going to do Okay, I'm going to do a couple of inches. That is just to hold it in place because I don't need the whole of that side for the turning of the inside out. But I would like my lining to match the outside design of the outer layer. So I'm going to put feet in. Now, what I'm doing here is I'm pinching either side of the cloth, which is quite easy with this lining, and then I'm putting it out there. Now, you can measure in for about an inch, or 3/4 of an inch, I'd say, and then you need this at right angles. Now, I'm going to guesstimate it, but do take the time just to do it properly. And what I'm going to do is sew this, and then I'm going to trim this, and so that I've got all my feet of the bag in the same sort of dimension, I'm going to then use this as a measure. So I sewed up a little bit of the long side. I've got my foot, and I'm just going to use that as a measure, although I'm still doing it by eye. So, lovely. I'm just going to sew my foot again, and reverse seam. I shouldn't have that much wear, but lovely. So this is done. This is the lining done for now. That's as far as I can go until I turn it inside out. But I am going to do this. So, spend as long as you like, match up your zip. That's really important. It won't work properly, it won't look good. It really needs to be matched up as nicely as possible. Now, yeah, the machine's not going to be happy if you sew the zip. So, let's get these scraggly bits all oofed. Now this is a bit difficult to pop sometimes because it sticks together. So I'm going to separate these lovely seams, and there we go. I've got my right angle, got my seam at the back. I can put that to one side so that it's all nice and straight and I'm nice and happy. And because of this fabric working the way it does, you can see where the seams are already. If I fold it, it will leave a mark. So I've got a good clue. I'm going to get rid of that because it's just going to be bulky. And then I'm coming up to the other end of the lining and I'm doing the same again, making sure that my zip seam is together. I know, even though I feel like I'm cutting these stringy bits as I go, there still seems to be loads. Alright, so there we go. All good. Last foot done. So it's a bit of a big reveal when you turn it all inside out. So there's my hole, the bit that I've left open, and the lining into there. I'm sorry, there's no easy way to do this. You've just got to do it. Be mindful that you don't stretch the lining and you don't rip the seams, or in some cases if you're using quite a delicate fabric, that you don't put your thumb through it completely. Not that I think you would, but I probably might. So here we go. There's the foot from the other side of the lining. And there's the foot from this side. And there we go. So what we need to do now is we need to pull this all straight. Untuck the corners, push everything into the seams. There we go, and push the lining into the corners as well, so that it's all nice and tidy. Check the zip works, because at this stage that would be quite a monstrous thing. And there we go. So we've got our little bag. There are some finishing touches to be done. What I'd like to do is just sew up this piece of lining, and by doing that, what I'm doing is I'm literally pushing those seams in with my 2 forefingers, then I'm pinching it closed, and these little zippy bits I'm going to stitch in as well, because I can, because we can. Okay, now if this is too fiddly for your machine, what you can do is either push it in with a needle afterwards and hand sew, or, yeah, I think you've really got to do it. I think it's really got to be done. So, lovely. I'm starting for the far side, just because it was a bit fiddly. Now I've got everything in position. I'm asking the machine to sew. And there we go. So I've tucked in the ends of the zips. Lovely. Now, one last job that I want to do is I want to run a seam along there. This is so that the taffeta doesn't get caught up in the zip when I'm closing it. Now, it is just a personal thing. It's fine to be left, or you can just fold this all down and then run a little seam along. So, of course, you've got the zip there, so you won't be able to do it to the end or anything. But I think you will find in the long run it will help you. So yeah, I'm just literally every couple of inches giving it a good tug. I'm relying on the machine to sort of push the seam down for me. Lovely. There we are. Get these as close to as I can. Now, okay, what I should have done is I should have sewn this from the outside, so that you had the nice outside stitches on the showy side. And what I've actually done is sewn it from the inside, because I felt like it was more important to actually pick up the taffeta than it was to pick up the lining. So there we go, I'm just trimming away. Yes. Lovely, so I'm happy with that. I hope it's been helpful for you. So such a mess here. And I hope you have great fun making one of these, designing your own little makeup bag. Okay, thank you for your time.